Hello, this is Crochet Basics with Jolie, and in this episode I'm going to show you how to do a granny rectangle. So it's similar to the granny square. I have an easy way to start, of course, because I like to start things as quick as possible when I'm getting a new project going. Anyway, so what you need is basic supplies for what you would use for a regular granny square. If you know how to do a granny square, then you should be able to pick up on this. And if you don't know how to do a granny square, I do show you in a previous tutorial. And let's get it going. Now I do a crossover. Most people do a slip knot, but I wasn't taught that way. Okay, so I do a crossover, and that's if you're gonna work it with me. And I do it I start a way that makes it easy. You find your stitches quick and you're ready to go. Alright, so let's chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and then you'll double crochet in the third chain from the hook, the first one that you made. Okay, so then you'll chain 1, move your finger up to hold where that chain 1 is, and then chain 3 again. And then you'll double crochet in the third chain from the hook. So you'll have a chain in between your chain 3 and double crochet loops. And let's see, I guess I'll do 4 of these just to show you. Okay, so we'll chain 1, move our hand up, 1, 2, 3, and then double crochet in that one, the third from the hook. Okay, so chain 1, move our hand up, hold that place, then 1, 2, 3, and then double crochet in that third one from the hook. Oops. Okay, so I have 4. Okay, so I'm going to chain 3. Wait, no, sorry. I'm going to chain 2. I'm going to double crochet 2 double crochets right into that loop that's there. So 1, 2, then I'm going to chain 2, and I'm going to go right back into that first loop because we're going to make the corner. This is making the corner here, so we're going to make one edge, and then you'll do 3 double crochets, like a regular granny square. So you'll do 3 double crochets, you'll chain 2, and then move on to your next loop here. So we'll do 3 double crochets in that next loop. Chain 2, and then another 3 double crochet. Chain 2, and another 3 double crochet. And this is our corner, so we're gonna do more double crochet up in there. Okay, so let's make our corner. So this is our last chain 3 double crochet loop. So we did 3 double crochets, we'll chain 2, we'll go right back in and do 3 more double crochet into that loop. Okay, and let's make our corner, finish off our corner. This is half of our corner. So we'll chain 2 again, and we'll go right back in and do another 3 double crochet. Okay, so this is, so far, that's what the corner looks like when it's started. It's not really square just yet, but it's, it'll get there. Next row it'll get there. Okay, and it's always good to crochet around your tail so that it saves a little time on weaving in later on. So you'll chain 2, and let's move on to the next. Okay, so this is where our loops are, and we'll do 3 double crochet, and we'll finish, we're almost done finishing off our first row of this. Chain 2, 3 double crochet in the next, chain 2, and now here we have half of our corner done, more than half, 3/4, whatever, and we'll finish off by doing 3 double crochet in our corner, chain 2, slip into the first chains that you made, 1 slip stitch, pull up a loop, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and the chain 3 is to get it over to the other side, as I've said, you know, in the granny square tutorial. Okay, and then we're really going to make our corner this time. So you'll do 3 double crochet in that corner, chain 2, another 3 double crochet. So now we're really making our corner more squared, you know. So let's move on, chain 2, and then in each row, you know, you go in between. After the first row, you go in between and you crochet around your chains instead of you know, where we first were. Okay, and you would chain 2 over your 3 double crochet, and you would go back in and do another 3 double crochet. So you would just continue on like this, you know, and it's just like a, you know, it's like a regular granny square, except it's longer. It starts out longer, you know, so. But pretty easy if you got a handle on the granny square. And the chaining double crochet loops that I do here, it's just to give it more meat to grab onto, something, you know, a little more sturdier than just regular chaining, and you know, just make it easier. You know where your loops already are. You're not sitting there counting, you know, every 3 spaces or so. Okay, so that's our corner here. It's 3 double crochets, 2 chain 2, and 3 double crochets. Then you chain another 2, and you get over to the other side. And then you would just repeat this. And this one's good, you know, I think I always say that, but this one's good because if you want to make a full blanket out of just 1 square, then you're good to go. Or you can make, you know, smaller rectangles, and just like I showed you in the last tutorial I did with how to connect them, the granny squares, you would connect them the same way. You can either sew them, crochet them as you go, or crochet them after you finish. And this will just keep getting, you know, bigger and bigger, as big as you like. And you always have to remember with this is that it grows all the way around. So 1 row, you know, you could be, you know, end up growing it 2 inches, you know, 1 inch on each side all the way around, you know. So if you're going to do this in a blanket, you might not want to do so many chain 3 double crochet spaces. Okay, so here's our last corner. We're finishing up our row, and since our chain is here from our start, we would only do 2 double crochets to end the row, and then slip into the first chains made, and then you would just repeat it from there. Chain 2, and then do 2 double crochets, and then you would just repeat it wherever you have chain spaces. You know, you're if it's along the edge, you know you're going to do 3 double crochets and chain 2 to get the yarn over, and then in the corners, you know, you're going to do the 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet in your 1 corner space. And just to show you, you know, you can start it different ways. You can do it just chaining, you know, so and you can put it in a blanket. This one I made a scarf. I didn't even finish I didn't even weave in my ends. I just finished this last night, actually. Well, almost finished. I got to weave in my ends. But if you can see it, this is the starting row right here, and I did 60 of those. I did 60 chain 3 double crochet spaces with 1 chain in between, and it came out nice, you know, if you ask me. You know, it came out nice sizing. I did 60 of them in an H-hook and acrylic yarn, multicolored acrylic yarn. I think this is Red Heart yarn. I think that's the brand I use. But super fun. Gets it going. If you're going to do a baby blanket, it gets the baby blanket going quicker. One thing is, like I said, you have to remember that you're growing it all the way around with each row, so you don't want to do too many of the chain 3 double crochets, because, you know, you could end up like having a huge long strip, you know, say like 5 feet long, and then you're only like maybe 3 feet wide or something silly like that, or 2 feet wide, you know, depending on how many of them you do. Anyway, I hope this is helpful. I hope you like the granny rectangle, how I do it, you know. I try and make them as easy as possible. As always, happy hooking, because it keeps you off the streets. If you have any questions, please ask, please subscribe, and a couple of more granny square / granny rectangle tutorials, and then I'll move on. All right, so I hope you like watching this. Please share, subscribe, all that kind of good thing, and I'll be back soon with another cool tutorial. So thank you for watching. Have a super great day. Bye.